Hi, my name is Kimberly Cox. I now no longer most likely work for SFMTA. I'm a current union steward, and also I was on the city contract team, which I was voted into, and they terminated all individuals that were out on medical leave or were not vaccinated.
And what was the basis of their termination, since some of these meetings were by Zoom?
Right. They said that if you're not able to be at your work site, then that rule is applicable to the union city contracts, which has never been in place before. This is the first of any type of policy on that. So they're using the city policies to eliminate us from being on the city contract team right now.
And who did this? Who told you that?
Well, we were originally told by Teresa Rutherford. I was told through an email by Jason that it was not Teresa's decision, that it was executive leadership's decision.
And who would that be?
That would be Mr. Bryant, Joseph Bryant, David Canham, and Jason Clum, as far as I'm aware of.
So who were the other people who were excluded from the negotiations?
I know John Wadsworth was excluded. There was a young lady from the library, Lisa, was excluded, and then there was Selena, she was also excluded. So those are the four that I'm aware of. There were a few others, from what I understand.
Why do you think they wanted to exclude you? What were the real reasons?
The real reasons are we are warriors and we stand together, and we were against this entire deal that they made. A leadership made a deal with the city and threw us under the bus. As of April 1, we no longer have our jobs.
And why did they do this?
They made a deal with Carol Eisen, from what I understand, and I heard a message yesterday that if you went ahead and got vaccinated, they would go ahead personally and dial up Carol Eisen, and she would allow us to still work for the city. But the problem is now is legally we can have exemptions. However, San Francisco, for some odd reason, is not allowing us to have these exemptions. Now, and the data, there was an information request put in, and I know there was one put in some months ago by Jason, but the union is not giving us the information. So now Mr. Bryant has gone ahead, and he's also done an information request. Yeah, so anywho, So, but what has happened is we were supposed to have a meeting to get that information, and we did not get that information. They said that the city did not give them the information. So, and then they canceled our meeting 5 minutes before our meeting, and they know that the deadline was yesterday. So now we're stuck. They just threw us under the bus.
And other districts, Alameda, have not taken the same policy. Why don't you talk about that?
Correct. So Alameda, Contra Costa, I believe it's Contra Costa, had 670 exemption requests. However, they approved 663 of them. So then you can go to Alameda County, you can go to the city of Oakland, you can go to Solano County, San Mateo. No issues. They provided their employees the exemptions that they requested. However, San Francisco is not. So why is San Francisco so different? And you guys are the same union. And not only that, you know, the San Francisco Unified School District allows to be testing once a week. And that should be universal.
So they're not providing the same thing in San Francisco for city employees?
No, they're not. No, they're not. So they've thrown us under the bus. They made a deal with the devil.
And what do you feel should happen?
I feel that not only should the city be obligated and they should be sued, I feel that the union is responsible for this because they didn't fight hard enough. We could have went on strike. We could have had a sit-in just like they did the other day at the San Francisco Unified School District. What happened to the fight? And what I'm seeing is there's certain individuals in executive leadership that have made their way to the top, and they forgot what it was all about to fight for the members of this union.
And was there an election?
There was an election, and I'm just going to go by what I was told. The original contract team were not able to make the final decision on this. So they took it back, from what I understand, David Canna, maybe Teresa Rutherford, they took it to the PEC to get the final okay. So they didn't go through the proper procedures and bring it back to the city contract team.
So they didn't allow, actually, the elected city contract team to discuss or vote on that?
Exactly. And then what they signed off is on April 1, and they act like they did us a favor. Well, they were going to fire you right then and there in November. BS. You could have sat out for a whole year, as far as I'm concerned. You did not fight for us. You threw us under the bus, and now people are suffering. We all have homes. We've been with the city 10, 20, 30 years, and they're in bed with the mayor and Carol Ison. And it's just corruption all the way around.